reasons we agreed. When I first came in, we approved this building, this purchase of this building here, which was the University of Maryland campus. And one of the reasons why I decided to approve it, because again, we need part of a downtown is to have traffic. And we want people coming here. We want people to have lunch, coffee here. We want people to walk up and down. We're even putting the bike, the Capital Bike Share, the bike so that people can ride their bikes up the road. But we really want this to be a place that people can see as a downtown area. And coming here was one of those. And I'm so glad, of course, we have our new leader here, Chairman Darrell Barnes. I thank our county executive for putting him in place, because one of the things I talked to him about is activating, making sure that you feel that this is your community, this is your building, this is your area. How many people have ever been in this building? Okay, very few. How many people have not been in this building? That's most people here, and that's what we're going to change. We want you all to feel that this is a part of you and a part of the community. The last part that we have is Caroline, and I wanted to talk about that because that's the biggest elephant in the room for me. It's been the most frustrating part of this, and I wanted to give an update of what we're going to do, and I will be meeting with the county executive and others to see how we will address Caroline. The Caroline project has not moved since I've gotten here. When I got in office, they were trying to sell it. It was bought in a large portfolio. Just to give people the background of what happened, it was purchased in a large portfolio. It used to be run by a group called RPIA or RFP. Either way, that group, they wanted to sell something. Happened with the CEO, they sold it and it was bought in a big portfolio. Part of the downside of that is that with a portfolio, you're not focused on every single project. You have multiple projects, and we were one of the side of that purchase is that the owners have not necessarily engaged or are not invested in Caroline the way that we would want them to be invested. It is a private property, so people understand we as the county do not control Caroline. It is owned privately. But they have wanted to sell, and they had some people that were supposed to buy it when I first got in. In fact, I even had our community leaders meet with them, and literally after the meeting, I was pulled aside and told that it was going to be sold. But it's been a high price, so the purchase has not happened. One thing we can do is try to see if we can intervene and see what way we can do to get the sale going so that we sell it to our rights to a partner that is going to work with us. And that's the biggest part, is that if we intervene as a county to try to push something to be sold, we need to make sure whoever buys it is going to work with us. That is where Caroline is right now. Their project that they have worked on, they had a pilot under the last county executive that gave them timelines that they had to meet in order to get any type of tax incentives from the county, and they did not meet that. And now we have the medical building up, and that is not full yet, but the other projects are on a standstill. So we are going to try to work and see what we can do, but understand it is privately owned. The price of it is determined by those who own it, and some of those things are out of our control. But we will try to work on that, and that's been the biggest elephant of moving the biggest project around, because that is really going to be the anchor of some of the things that are surrounding downtown Largo. So I could go on and on, but you'll be hearing with me throughout the night. But I just want to go an overview of what we're looking at. We're going to hear from our county executive and, of course, Chairman Darrell Barnes for Park and Planet, and then you will get a presentation from all stakeholders that have projects in Largo. And Caroline will be the one that you will not hear from tonight. The representatives could not come tonight. But you will hear from many others, and we will make sure to keep you updated. And now I would like to bring up our newly elected and now placed in county executive, Aisha Brave Boy. Let's give her a round of applause.
And this is just a tremendous, first of all, response from the community. It's also just an amazing opportunity here in the central part of Prince George's County, where I grew up. In fact, I went to Largo High School, and about 20 or so years ago, when I worked for county government, there was a lot of conversation by then Council Member Sam Dean about downtown Largo. And I remember thinking then, wow, that's a great idea, but you know, who's going to start it? What are we going to do? Do about that? How will that ever come to fruition? But through the years, I think the vision of downtown Largo never got lost. But then the timing was off back then, and the timing is right now. So I'm really excited to be able to lead the economic development vision for this area, along with Council Member Walla Blagay, along with our new Park and Planning Chair, Daryl Barnes, and most importantly, all of you, the community. So let's give yourselves a round of applause. I don't come into this with any hard and fast ideas. I really want to hear from you. But what I do believe we need an area that actually meets the needs and the desires of the people in this community. We have for so long had to travel outside of our community to eat in the restaurants that we wanted to eat in, to shop in the areas that we want to shop in, to enjoy entertainment. And the truth is, we deserve it right here. We deserve it right here. And not only do we deserve it, we can actually demand it. I mean, we have some of the highest incomes in the region, really in the country, right here in this area. So there's no reason why businesses can't move here and make money. In fact, most businesses who move to this area then becomes the highest grossing store or restaurant for that company or that business. So what we do know is that we consume a lot in Prince George's County, but oftentimes we are now consuming outside of our county because we don't have the quality we want to deserve within our county. So my goal is to bring those dollars back home, bring the dollars here to downtown Largo so that you can truly enjoy this county and spend money here because that's what we want. We want folks to spend money here, get their entertainment, their needs met here, and that's what this is all about. The other thing is that this is a great area for an employment center. So we can really attract businesses here, not just to rent office space, but to bring campuses, corporations with their campuses here to Prince George's, to downtown Largo. So we have a vision. That vision includes your ideas. I believe that's what Walla also wants to hear this evening. But just know that you have a county executive that's excited, that's fired up, that has a vested interest in seeing this part of our community as well as the rest, but in particular this part because I know a lot about it, having grown up here, grow and become what we all know that it can become. So thank you so much, Councilwoman, for inviting me here. I look forward to hearing from our residents as well as the stakeholders and enjoy the rest of the evening. Thank you.
Thank you to our county executive, and it just feels so good to have someone in leadership that I could work with to make sure that our vision is met. We do have a lot of people in the back, and I want to know if you have a empty chair next to you, can you please raise your hand? Okay, and for those that are looking for somewhere to sit, can you go? You can come and sit next to anybody who raised their hand because we want to make sure people are able to come in and get a seat. And we do know that there's a lot of interest, but thank you all so much. You all can put your hands down and hopefully people will come up and come in. I do want to introduce our next speaker is our Chairman Barnes, Daryl Barnes, that's come up. And we just want to give him a round of applause. He just got unanimously appointed to be the chair of Park and Planning and help us with our leadership. And he has his team. And after he speaks, we will have his team give an overview of the Blue Line Corridor. And I want to make sure you guys pay attention. The biggest issue is getting feedback, and we would like you to fully give feedback when it comes to the Blue Line Corridor. It doesn't include Largo, but it is around Largo, so it complements our community. And I'm going to turn it over to Chair.
How's everybody doing? Let me try that again because I'm excited. And I think you all should be excited because Councilwoman Begay is bringing us all together to talk about downtown Largo. So let me try it again. How's everybody doing? Listen, I'm beyond excited. I am on day number 6. And I can't be more excited and thankful for the county executive believing in me to put me in this position. And at the end of the day, it's all about creating an opportunity where we all win. All of us have to win with what we're doing here. And parking planning, our planning department, and I want to introduce my right-hand person in the planning department. Her name is Lakeisha Hall. She is the director of planning. And we vow to move as quickly and as swiftly and as methodically as we possibly can to ensure that we are bringing in the right zoning, the right ideas, the right economic development plan for this downtown Largo. At the end of the day, my job is to follow the vision of our county executive. My job is to listen to our councilwoman, but ultimately my job is to adhere to all of you all out there. Your ideas, your suggestions, what are you thinking, how we should move. So here's a free one. I need you guys to pull out your pen and paper and write this down. And I've asked everyone internally as well as externally to make sure that I want to hear from you and I want to hear your suggestions. I don't want to hear about the complaints. I want to hear about your ideas, your bold innovation, things that we can do differently, how we can implement something. So I created a mailbox on day 1. It is suggestions at lncppc.org. I'm only on day 6. Let me try it again. It's suggestions at lncppc.org. Any ideas, any suggestions, any innovation, anything that you can think of that will help us transform this downtown Largo, email us. My staff is monitoring that email, and we're making sure that we're being responsive, and we're trying to implement a lot of the ideas and suggestions that have already started to come in. So I'm not going to belabor the point, but I want to end with this. And this is the words from our county executive, that it is good business to do business with the people of Prince George's County. Let me say it again for those who didn't hear me. It will be good business to do business with the people of Prince George's County, meaning that we are all in this together to create a win. We want to create an environment where you all feel good about this downtown Largo. We want to create an environment where you all feel safe about downtown Largo. We want to create an environment where you all feel good about the shops and the restaurants and the walking trails that we're trying to create in downtown Largo. This is our opportunity to follow a leader that wants to transform Prince George's County in a big way. So I vow to be helpful. My team has vowed to be helpful, and we're behind you guys 100%. And thank you guys so much for the welcome.
Good evening, everyone. Once again, my name is Lakeisha Hall. I'm the planning director for Prince George's County. Very excited. My team is able to provide a couple slides about the visioning that is happening here. We have people that have lived all over the country and world that works on my team. We want to make sure we have the best uses in this county, and we also want to make sure that downtown Largo is set up for success moving forward. So if you guys can just bear with us for a few minutes, we just want to go through some slides. Super excited about the opportunity, the great turnout. And so we look forward to your feedback. No idea is a bad idea. We really want you to be open. If you've seen things in other parts of the country, let us know that you want that here. I've had the pleasure of working in Miami, LA, Charlotte, North Carolina. And I know you guys have places that you like, that you want to have here. So we want to hear that feedback as well. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to my team. We just have a few slides. And Bill, okay, there you are. All right, and I'll turn it over to him. Thank you.
All right, all set here? Great. Well, good evening, everyone. This is quite the crowd. Thank you for being here. I'm Bill Skavinsky. I'm a planner in the Largo section in the community planning division, and I'm the project manager for the Central Avenue Blue and Silver Line sector plan and sectional map amendment. Just going to give you a quick 4 or 5 minute overview of the plan. So. All right. So this map outlines the Central Avenue and Silver Line sector plan area, located entirely within the Capitol Beltway. As the name suggests, Central Avenue and the Metro Blue and Silver Lines run through the plan area, stretching from the DC border to the Beltway, which forms its eastern edge. Key locations within the sector plan include the city of Seat Pleasant, a portion of the town of Capitol Heights, the Capitol Heights, Addison Road, Seat Pleasant, and Morgan Boulevard metro stations, Northwest Stadium, formerly FedEx Field, and of course, just outside the plan boundary area is downtown Largo, a designated regional transit district. So, right up in this area, you can see the star where we are right now. One second, the clicker isn't cooperating. So, what is a sector plan? I have a couple of clicks through this. So, a sector plan is a community-driven blueprint that outlines a shared vision for the future of a specific area in the county, with an emphasis on physical development. Throughout this planning process, we prioritize inclusive, ongoing engagement. We held office hours and pop-up events, met with the municipalities, HOAs, and civic associations. What, prior slide, please. Okay, that's good, thank you. Launched several online activities and hosted open house events, all to ensure broad, meaningful input. Sector plans are built through collaboration with residents, stakeholders, county agencies, and leadership. Together, we craft strategies that guide thoughtful growth, protect valued places, and reflect community priorities. These plans also consider trade-offs. So, for example, how to increase housing options while expanding retail, dining, and public spaces. And although sector plans look 20 or 25 years into the future, they also identify actionable next steps to spark near-term progress and build long-term momentum. Next slide, please. So the sector plan is organized into 8 thematic. Thank you. All set. The sector plan is organized into 8 thematic chapters, or called elements. Each begins with a goal rooted in the community's vision and includes strategies to help achieve it. These elements reflect priorities across planning topics and are updated and are adapted from the structure of Plan 2035. Even quicker than originally planned. So land use, this guides the scale and placement of future development, shaping how different areas grow over time. Economic prosperity, focusing on revitalizing the corridor and supporting small businesses. Transportation and mobility, this improves bike and pedestrian access. Safety concerns and traffic calming. Natural environment promotes stormwater management. Housing and neighborhoods encourages a variety of housing types. Community heritage, culture, and design, the centers around placemaking and local identity. Healthy communities expands access to fresh food and healthcare services. And lastly, public facilities strengthens investment in public safety. Now, what are the project's next steps? Well, as you can see here, mid-August is our target for completing the preliminary sector plan. So here in just about a month. Permission to print is scheduled for September 4th, officially launching the next phase of public review. This leads up to the joint public hearing on November 10th, where the draft plan will be available for public access in both digital and printed formats. The project staff will host office hours in the plan area to answer questions and hear from community members. We encourage you through in-person testimony and written testimony, which will be accepted through November 25th.
We want to engage people here with this, and this is a little bit too technical. Okay, so just wanted to just clarify for all of you that with the Blue Line corridor, the actual focus, and I will actually have our planning director come up and talk about the areas that are the focus, because what they're doing is going over, they get the concepts from you. And what the technical staff does is go and look at what you are presenting and find the zoning that fits. Let me just explain why this is important. You can only change zoning in two ways. Number one is through a sector plan. A sector plan allows you to say, okay, we're going to change this from residential to mixed use. We're going to change this from mixed use to industrial. So that is how you do it, is through the sector plan. This is the one shot that we have to make this plan, this change. After that, it's only through text amendments, and we know that our community has had difficulty with that. So what we were doing, and I thought that there would be a presentation, but it looks like they're going to grab some things for you so you can see. Go over the areas that the Blue Line Sector Plan covers. Do you have that?
The area, well, we had the map up.
Okay, can you go back to that? Go back to that map. Okay, let's go back to it. Okay, so here are the areas that it includes. It is focused a little down. There is the area around Addison Road, the area around Capitol Heights, and then the area is around, this Blue Line Sector Plan includes the Commander Stadium. What's going to happen near the Commander Stadium, which is around the Morgan Boulevard station. So those are the three locations, the four major metro stations there. And especially the big important one for us is up the Central Avenue corridor, because that's going to change the Hampton Park. That's one of the changes, Hampton Park. Then you go down towards Addison Road, around there where our food desert is. That's one of the things that we're changing. Then you go up near the stadium, and the Blue Line Corridor Sector Plan includes the stadium. So when they say in the joint public hearing, I understand that deadline, but the point that we're trying to make is that they do want to get some feedback from you on what they're going to do. And we are going to see if they can bring down, I think that they can't do that now, but that they will be able to bring down the outline of those projects so that you all will provide feedback. But if you have some feedback on what you want to see at the stadium, this is where this joint public hearing is going to address that. If you have some ideas of what you want to see up and down Hampton Park, up and down Central Avenue, this one is what you're going to, is where you're going to do it. So we want to make sure, we want to make it as clear for people, because I know people have said that some of these things are hard to understand. I didn't understand it before I got in this position. I am a lawyer. So I just want to say how complicated it is. And we do have our planning director that is going to make sure that we get some information to you. But how many of you all have given a comment on the Blue Line sector? That's the problem. That's why we're doing this here today. We need you all to comment, because then what's going to happen is we're going to approve the plan, and everyone's going to say, well, we didn't know this was coming. So that's why we're asking you today to engage with us about those, because even if you live in Largo, like I live in Kettering, Central Avenue is important to me. What's happening in Addison Road is important to me. What's happening at the Commander Stadium is important to me. And you all know we're at risk of losing the stadium. So whatever is put there for the zoning will be what comes. So thank you so much. And I actually want to say, did you want to give some feedback?
I just wanted to introduce, I didn't realize, I didn't see some of the members of my team before I got here, so I wanted to just have them stand up. I have probably one of the, I think, most successful leads for economic development that has ever touched this region. This is someone who worked on National Harbor, worked on Woodmore Town Center. Suitland, and so many of the other big projects that were successful here in Prince George's County, leading our economic development efforts. And that is our new DCAO for Economic Development, Iris Boswell. Iris, can you stand up? So she brings with her just a wealth of knowledge and experience developing here in Prince George's County. All the most successful development she's touched. Along with her is Perry Paler, who is the new lead for our redevelopment authority. He's also no stranger to working on development in the county. He several years ago was the general counsel for the redevelopment authority. Now he's leading those efforts. I also have with me my chief of staff, Latara Harris, who leads our community engagement teams as well as our legislative team. And I also believe that I have my DCAO for government infrastructure and technology, Kevin Stevens, all the way in the back. He's actually from this Largo area as well. And so I know he has a vested interest. And he's also someone that's working on revamping DPI because he oversees DPI, which I know has been a source of, yes, you can clap for that. A source of a lot of issues. Along with that, we kicked off our project Elevate, which is our beautification initiative. Well, it's not really to elevate all areas of government, but the first one we're starting out with is beautifying our streets. So hopefully you've seen the street sweepers and you've seen the folks out there from the Department of Public Works working to ensure that our roadways are, as I call it, as beautiful as the people who live here. If you have a concern or if you see areas where we need to show up, please call 311. We are also paying more attention to how 311 is run and how responsive 311 is. So please help us by telling us where we need to go. But trust me, we are very, very much focused on ensuring that Prince George's County is aesthetically pleasing because as we bring new development here, we want the type of development that will add to the beauty of our county and not take away from it. But it starts by showing people who we are, and that's how we look and how our streets look. So we spent a lot of time, we're dedicating a lot of resources to ensuring that our streets are kept clean, that the grass is mowed, that the trees are cut back. So if you see an area of concern, please don't hesitate to call 311 or get in touch with Kevin Stevens. Again, raise your hand, Kevin, sir. Everyone can see you. Please, that will help us because, it's one thing to complain. We understand that it's complaints. In fact, I used to complain all the time. But now, if we can all be a part of the solution, solving the problem, I think it's going to work out best for everybody. So I'm excited again. So if I have to leave a little early, my team will still be here to take notes and to listen. I think, is this being recorded? It's being recorded, so I can listen to it later as well. But I think, again, all of it, this is such a great turnout for such a great cause. So thank you.
Okay, you guys, without further ado, we have the visualizations. And so these are renderings that are just for illustrative purposes. And so what we're trying to do is get you guys to have a lot of great ideas. And so we're going to walk through some of these renderings that were put together of what can be built here in the next 10 to 15 years. So it's not today, but this is what this planning process will allow us to do. And we need the feedback for that. So with that, I'm going to bring up my deputy director to go through the slides.
Well, it's a hard act to follow the county exec, the planning board chair, Councilmember Bourget, and Director Hall. But I'm Tony Phelps. I'm the Deputy Director of Administration, also the Community Planning Division Chief. I'm also a proud resident of Prince George's County. And as someone who works in Largo every day here at this building, I'm really excited about the future of Largo also. So this is kind of a sneak peek for you guys. Not many people have seen these visualizations, so you're going to be some of the first to see it. So as Director Holt mentioned, these are just kind of conceptual drawings to give you an idea of what is possible based on some of the zoning changes that Councilmember Bourget talked about. What is possible on the Blue Line corridor between the Beltway and the District Line. So, can we go to 17? So we're going to start in Capitol Heights, and we're really focused around the Capitol Heights Metro Station. You guys know what it looks like right now. There's a lot of property that's owned by WMATA there. There's a lot of vacant property. We want to capitalize on that. We want to make sure it is a transit hub. How many of you guys have been to New Carrollton lately, around New Carrollton Metro Station, right? You've seen a lot of new development out there, right? A lot of people living out there, a lot more activity. There's the new WMATA headquarters. We envision something very similar to that around the Metro Station in Capitol Heights. Next slide, please. And so this kind of gives you an idea of the area that we're looking at. You see the Metro Station there at the top, and we're going to show you this bird's eye view here. So if you can go to the next slide and zoom in a little bit. Right there, you see the Metro Station right there in the center. You got me a laser? There you go. Wait, which button? I don't want to put anybody's eye. All right. You guys see, this is where the existing Metro Station is. You all are familiar with the canopy as it goes down to the underground station. Well, this is what we envision. We envision high-density mixed use right here along the Metro Station. And also, we want to draw your attention over here on Old Central Avenue. Right now, most of you guys know Old Central Avenue is a lot of older storefronts, not a lot of investment. We also envision capitalizing on that transit corridor that's old, that is Old Central Avenue, and revitalizing that area with kind of a little bit lower density from around because it's further away from the metro station, but still revitalizing that area with new businesses and new residences. Because as we know, we don't get the new businesses without a lot of new residences. So we want to make sure that you guys are served, these new businesses, these new residents are served with new businesses coming in to capitalize on that transportation infrastructure, which is WMATA and which is Central Avenue and Old Central Avenue. So let's go to the next slide. So this will kind of give you, this is kind of a rough drawing, but it's kind of a on the street view right there on Old Central Avenue and some of those revitalization areas that I told you about. We can go to the next one. So our next focus area was around Maryland 704. That's Dr. King Avenue. You guys know there's a grocery store over there. We also looked at this area because we know it's a heavily traveled corridor in the Blue Line area. And it's a lot where a lot of people do their grocery shopping in the area. And we want to make sure that we're not forgetting those areas also that are outside of the metro station. So next slide, please. So this gives you that bird's eye view. That's the wrong button. Of Dr. King Avenue. And you see, not quite as dense as around the metro station because we're a little bit further away from the metro station, but still some opportunities for mixed-use development. And what do we mean by mixed-use development? I know that's a term that planners throw out. That just means these buildings, you know, that'll have apartments on the top, and on the ground floor, you may have something like a restaurant or a boutique or a convenience store. Something to provide services not only for the residents that live in the building, but also the residents that live in the neighborhood. Something that's walkable, you don't have to get in your car to go to. And so that's what we're envisioning for this area. Next slide, please. So next we want to talk about the next metro station. And of course, our metro stations are kind of the crown jewels of the Central Avenue Blue Line area. So we're talking about Addison Road and Seat Pleasant. Next slide, please. So you can see the metro station right here. You guys are familiar with it. It's got this big parking structure that's already there. But none of this is there. This is all kind of empty land or surface parking or where the buses come in. So what we envision, and of course you've got the existing shopping center that would be right about here. And so what we envision, again, is capitalizing on that infrastructure around the metro station, making sure that the people that are riding that metro have someplace to go, right? Someplace they want to go here in Prince George's County on the Central Avenue Blue Line corridor. And I'm really excited about that again because I'm out here every day. And you know, I love my Panda Express, but I get tired of going to Panda Express. I want some more restaurants. I'm a big guy, you know, I like to eat. So I want some restaurants around that I can go to. And I'm sure you guys do too, right? So if we can go to the next slide and give you a little bit of a more of a bird's eye view, you can see there's the metro station right there. Now some of this development is already in the pipeline. These buildings that you see right here in yellow, those are already approved developments. Those are already coming. But what we envision is this whole stretch of Central Avenue around the Addison Road Metro for more residents, more businesses. Those more residences bring more businesses, and those businesses provide services to the people right here in this room on Central Avenue corridor. And that's what we're trying to do, is put the zoning in place with this plan to make these visions a reality. We're gonna have some more renderings. We're still working on them. That's not that. We're still working on the Morgan Boulevard corridor. We're working with the county exec's office on their vision around Morgan Boulevard. We're also working with them on two visions for the Commander Stadium area. You know, we know the Commanders are. How many want the Commanders to stay in Prince George's County? We want the Commanders right here, right? We want the Commanders right here in Prince George's. And we know they're going to stay. Washington, D.C. ain't got nothing on us. They're staying right here in Prince George's County. And so, but if they don't, no booze. But if they don't, we're looking at two scenarios. One if the Commanders stay, and one in the very unlikely event that they don't stay. And what do we do with that stadium area? So we've got some more renderings that are coming. I invite you to what's the website or the email address? So CABL, C as in Charles, A as in Apple, B as in boy, L as in Lincoln, at ppd.mncppc.org. And if you don't write that down, we will email it out to you so you guys have it. I think we've got your. I know that's a lot to write down. That's a lot. Yeah. So it's CABL at ppd.mncppc.org. So think of it. Prince George's Planning Department, that's the PPD. MNCPPC, that's Maryland National Capital Park and Planning Commission.org. And it's online. But keep your eye on that website. Again, we'll get that emailed out to the councilwoman's office because you're going to have updates. We're going to be, as Bill mentioned, we're going to be back out in the community giving y'all more information. And we're really happy to share this with you because this is not about what we want. Bill and his team have been out in the community listening to what you guys, the residents of the Central Avenue Blue Line corridor and Largo, want to see in that area, and we want to make sure that this plan is your vision. So we're incorporating your vision into this to make it happen. Thank you guys. Appreciate it. Thank you, Councilman.
Thank you so much, and I want to encourage everybody to engage, please. We do want to hear from you. I would say for our Largo area between Addison Road and Morgan Boulevard, that is huge for us because whatever goes there complements what we have here. And so we can move this forward. We don't want to people, I will say we will probably go over 8 o'clock because we're trying to get everybody the information, so be patient with us. I'm going to call up Miss Dallas and her team, the Prince George's County Arts and Humanities Council. They are going to give you the rendering plaza, and then they're going to talk about the cultural center, and also we have some artwork that they're doing at Largo. So this is a big part of beautifying the Largo area, and they are going to, and they want you to engage with them. So I'm bringing them up. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember Brigay. And thank you, County Executive Grayboy. It's an honor to stand before you and just give you a glimpse of what we're doing with the Prince George's Arts and Humanities Council. We believe arts is not a luxury, but it's essential in moving the economic development priorities forward in the county and also in sustaining vibrant communities. I'm bringing with me my Deputy Director, Keisha Mason, so we can go through this quickly. And so for those of you who don't know, the Prince George's Arts and Humanities Council, we are the legislative arts agency for Prince George's County, and we serve under the economic development cluster. Okay, so these are some of the program areas of our core programs are in public places, the Prince George's Film Office, the Prince George's Office of the Poet Laureate. So we believe that arts means business in Prince George's County, and we have expanded our reach to include some areas that some of the regional arts council do not engage in. Next slide.
Awesome. Good evening, everyone. So our core mission at the Prince George's Arts and Humanities Council is to drive the creative economy. We know that the creative economy in the state of Maryland is a $12 billion industry with over 80,000 jobs, and close to 10,000 of those jobs are right here in Prince George's County. And so we drive the diverse creative economy through programs, through advocacy, through funding and educational support. And our vision really is to have Prince George's County where the creative economy and the community thrive, and that we are prioritized, and that the creative industry is invested in, because we all know that the creative industry creates vibrant communities. And so in 2020, I believe, we were a co-lead with the Maryland National Capital Park and Planning with the cultural arts study. And really the purpose of this study was to catalyze the arts to drive economic development. And so the purpose of the study, we developed strategies and recommendations for cultural arts activities and program into the county's economic development and land use strategies.
And if we go, how many in the audience do not have a copy of the cultural arts study? It really is a powerful document. And so we have it at our office, also at the planning office. I don't see Adam from placemaking, but we will be sure to make those available. There was a lot of work that was done on this study, a lot of community feedback and charrettes. And so we want you to see the outcome. Oh, yes, it's online as well. So in our implementation of the cultural arts study, the Arts and Humanities Council, we are leading with public art strategies and creative placemaking. This is our most recent installation. It is at the Largo Metro. This is in partnership with WMATA. We have an MOU with WMATA, and as we're talking about along the Blue Line corridor, we are also going to do installations at the Addison Road Metro and at the Capitol Heights Metro as well. And so as you can see, this is public art in a functional capacity. Not only does it elevate the design aesthetic, but it is also a demonstration of the power of solar. These structures, as you can see along the wall, they also bring light, and they're charging stations as well. Next slide. Okay. So the initial theme was environmental awareness. And as you well know, with climate change and the climate crisis that is impacting everyone, including our communities, as we're looking for environmental equity, we want to use art to bring awareness to the environmental issues that are happening right now. So along with the perennials, we work very closely with DPW&T to identify bus shelters. So this is our public art, environmental public art bus shelter project. These are structures that will be placed along McCormick Drive. It's a total of 4, and the concepts were inspired by native species plants that are in Maryland. And so these installations will start in November. So like I said, it's a total of 4, and the bus stops are listed to the left, but you'll see those along the corridor of McCormick Drive. We are looking at other locations along the Blue Line corridor, but these are the first 4 that are going to be installed. Next slide. The Civic Plaza. If you pass by the Wayne K. Curry building, you will see all the construction. So this is the brand new Civic Plaza. We have 2 creative activations that are going to take place. One is a mural, and this mural is going to be 10 feet by 15 feet. That's going to cover a storage area that's within the center of the Civic Plaza. We have a current RFQ out right now. If you come to our back table, we have the information. And so the deadline for the submission is July 22nd. And so we're looking for local artists and local design teams to apply for this current RFQ to do the mural. We're also looking at temporary public art, and this is something that I'm proposing as well. The original mural, I'm looking to see how we can change that out maybe every 3 to 4 years, so that way we can keep the Civic Plaza very fresh and very exciting. Okay, next slide. All right, there's going to be a butterfly garden within the Civic Plaza as well. The perennials will be located there. They are custom sculptures, and we're looking to highlight three cultures that are very prominent in Prince George's County. One, the African diaspora. Next slide. As you can see, there's a lot of research that goes into our public art installations to make sure that we have inclusion and cultural authenticity. We're going to be highlighting the Latin American community, and you can see the butterfly patterns and also the symbolism and the Native American community as well. In the back, you will see boards. If there's any feedback that you would like to give, we are here to take all comments. The University of Maryland Capital Regional Medical Center, the parking garage, because of its location, it's an optimal canvas to do a public art installation. We're looking at different mediums. Right now, public art, there's everything from murals to digital. And so this RFQ will go out this year as well. The Central Library Cultural Center, I'd like to bring up our other co-lead, and this is the Prince George's County Memorial Library System and the Prince George's Arts and Humanities Council. We are co-leading this project. And so the Central Library and Cultural Center is going to be a dynamic, multicultural, multi-generational hub for research, for learning, for also cultural engagement, civic engagement. There'll be a gallery. There'll also be performance spaces. And Megan, would you want to share a little bit from the library side?
We're just very excited about this project and the opportunity to bring a central library and all the new innovation and services that could bring to the residents of Prince George's County.
And it'll also be architecturally iconic. And that's why, if you can go back one slide, there are plans underway to do an international design competition for the design of the structure. It will be in Largo, somewhere near the metro station. Yes, so it will be very accessible. So it will be very accessible. All right, so collectively, through our collective vision, the community input, we will bring these projects to reality, telling our story through the arts. And how can you get involved? Meetings such as this. Also, we have a public art apprenticeship program for those that you are interested in learning more about public art. Public art globally is a $4.2 billion industry. And so we're open to expanding that with Employ Prince George's and also Art in Public Places panel. We will be forming an advisory committee for the Cultural Center, and we have our Prince George's Arts and Humanities Council community grants for those of you who work with arts organizations. Thank you.
So a couple things. The Cultural Center definitely is one of the most, to me, the most exciting one. If you look at the green lane, and that's what we're assuming is around there, that will be where the Cultural Center will be. We will confirm everything, but that is the plan. The Civic Plaza is already being built now, so we do have someone here that's going to come up and talk about that. But are any artists in the room? Anybody raise your hand? Any artists? Okay, we don't have any artists in the room. And does anybody have any feedback or history that should be in the Cultural Center? Does anybody have any feedback that you want to provide to the Arts and Humanities Council? All right. Well, if you do, okay, we see someone there. They are here. They do want to hear some feedback. Understand the beautification is the big part of the actual downtown center. It's not just the buildings. It is what's in it. It's what is around. It's how it looks. And you all know like things not looking good. I know my residents, and we hear from it when it doesn't look right. So we do want to make sure we get some feedback from you all. Thank you all so much. And does anybody have? I only have one. I'm only going to do one question because we are behind. So stand up if you do have a question. Okay, he's going to bring the.
Hi, I just want to make a point, Councilwoman Brigade. I think the conversation around art, what's lost is Black American cultural perspectives. against a wider African diaspora. So I just want to make sure that that is a distinct thing and that absolutely should be represented in anything that's done artistically with the county.
Agreed. We do already have that. I would say the thing that we're trying to do with the cultural center specifically is to highlight the history of this county when it comes to the Black history of the county. I've already put that forward, and that's a big part of the history. Maryland, the county, we have history, and frankly, we have a lot of people who are not from here, and they never really learned the history of this county. Many people might not even know who Wayne Curry is, and we have a building named after two buildings. But there's more than just Wayne Curry, and we do need to engage more people. I do see our state delegate Kim Taylor is here. Thank you for coming. Any other state representatives have walked in? If so, please let us know. Okay, so thank you so much for that. Did you want to answer that so people understand that the African American culture is being portrayed here? Can you just touch that so that's clear?
Yeah, when we started our public art strategy, it was Prince George's County, Destination Prince George's Telling Our Story. The mural at the Civic Plaza is going to be a great opportunity to start that conversation. And so, well noted, and we will proceed being extremely inclusive and representative of the African American history.
Thank you, and that will be the African American history will really be the focus of the cultural center. Can we bring next speaker we have is PJ. Is PJ here? Benanati, can you come up so you can talk about? And this is the renderings of the Civic Plaza. So this is what's being built right now as we speak.
Everybody, thanks for having us tonight. We're really excited about this project. As the councilman said, this is under construction right now. The plaza is expected to open this year. We're targeting December right now. Construction is on schedule and going smoothly so far. So tonight we're going to give just a little bit of a very rapid background on the project, how we got to where we are, some of the key features of the Civic Plaza, and we're excited about it, and we hope everybody else is too. Next slide, please. These are just a couple of key views. You can see this will focus around a very central core circulation path that connects county government to the county. When this project started, there was a strong desire to create a civic space for all people to come together and to be able to share their voice very publicly with the representatives of Prince George's County. As part of that, we created a lot of flexibility in the design. So there was a large central plaza space, a large gathering space in the central lawn. There was actually a public stage to gather, to share news, to provide discourse. There's art elements throughout the entire framework of this public plaza. Everything from the paving design, you can see in the distance the free speech frame is a art element inspired by public discourse and sharing information. And then there will be activities here for year-round engagement. All ages were being considered as part of this. We want people young and old all being able to join together, come together, and share in this public space. This is right down the street at the Wayne K. Curry Administration Building. So it's 2 seconds down the street here. You'll probably see the construction fencing on your way out. And like I said, this is going to be delivered and open hopefully by the end of the year here. So thank you.
Any just one question? Any question? Okay, this young man has a question.
I don't have a question. I have a comment. You're talking about your concept. There are many concepts that you are speaking of, but you don't have the space to accommodate all of this redevelopment in the Largo metro area along Central Avenue, along what in the area that we're talking about? You don't have-
We have the space. We actually have the space. So the Civic Plaza is right down the street. We have, and in fact, everybody that's presenting today is presenting in the actual space. Even the discussion, the 4 locations that they have when we talk about the cultural center is going to be right at the Largo station. The space is already there. All of the stuff that we're talking about around Addison Road, there's really not much going on. In fact, there's a lot of green space around there. So what we're trying to do is build. There's another project that we didn't bring here because it was less Largo and more down. That's Glenwood Hills. We're talking about over 100 acres of open land. One of the things we're realizing is that we're not utilizing our space wisely. We do have space around, but it's not necessarily used in the best way possible. And that's what we're trying to do. We have the space. It's just you'll see as things develop that we have the space around to do the things we want.
Council member, you're talking about a lot of info. Okay, you're giving us a lot of information. I love your concepts, but you do not have the space.
We do, and I just say I would respectfully disagree with you. Everything we're not bringing concepts, ideas. These are things that are real. Like everything we bring here, when we're talking about the Civic Plaza, it is being built right now. When we're talking about the Contra Center, the land has been acquired. When we're talking about any of the projects that we're bringing here, I just want to understand there is a building coming up. In fact, we have too much green space. I've actually complained that for a while it seems like Largo almost like an open field. Think about DC. When you get out of a metro station, it's things everywhere. And when we get out here, it's kind of like just it's really not much going on. So that's what we're trying to do. We're activating the space we have, and we do have this space. So thank you so much. Thank you so much for that. Our next comment will be from Randy Atchison with the Love My Largo and Downtown Largo community. While we're building, we need a group that's going to help us activate the area. And the Largo Civic Association has been so active in doing that and using the space to get people to start to come. One thing we realized, they're having a big Largo festival show up. What we want, part of having a downtown is having an event that we are constantly using. And so we want to make sure that with everything that we put together in Largo, the buildings that we're starting to use, we're even working with the owners of Caroline that are having festivals in that area to get people to come there that is beyond just the hospital, right? We want people to get comfortable coming to festivals there, going there, because soon we're going to have buildings there. We're going to have there is a condo building going up. There's going to be retail there, but we want people to start seeing that as a space of use. So I'm turning it over to Randy Atchison with Love My Largo and the Largo Civic.
Well, thank you guys so much for allowing us to take this moment to share the work from Largo Town Center Association. As an umbrella HOA, don't throw tomatoes at me, we maintain the regional stormwater system and common areas surrounding the pond at Largo Town Center Park. We work closely with residential and commercial property owners who contribute to the system via rainwater runoff. These owners are considered due-paying members of our association, and at our core, we work to ensure that downtown Largo is a vibrant place to live, work, and play. So in the spirit of our work, we developed the Love My Largo initiative. This initiative is working to advance sustainability and community pride through local stewardship in the heart of downtown Largo. As our area transforms into a thriving urban center, we're going to see increased impervious surfaces, which create growing pressure on our regional stormwater system and natural environments. Many residents and businesses simply aren't aware of how their everyday practices like gardening, landscaping, waste disposal, and even shopping impact our stormwater quality, whether positive or negatively. And at the same time, economic shift and rapid development calls for a greater self-sufficiency through stronger community bonds and our local resilience. But with the challenges come clear opportunities for us. So by strengthening partnership with our county agencies, residents, and local businesses, we can drive real sustainable change. Through culture, structured engagement, we deepen our relationships, foster community pride, and empower our residents. And with intentional placemaking, we align Largo's growth plan with sustainability and equity, creating a future that works for all our county stakeholders. To address some of our challenges and unlock new opportunities, we launched again the Love My Largo initiative. This initiative creates accessible, hands-on experiences that blend environmental education and engagement, building a culture of sustainability and pride. What you see, and unfortunately, it's still coming up, the Love My Largo. Okay. First, we have the Love My Largo Farm Market. We had our first market right at the home of the future Civic Plaza in partnership with Prince George's County Planning Department. Shout out to the Placemaking Division for also being an awesome partner in producing our farmers market. And as you may know, farmers markets promote food equity, wellness, and local business growth with fresh, locally sourced goods. Second, our Litter Free Largo, in partnership with Largo Civic Association, this cleanup series raises awareness and promotes environmental stewardship while value by cleaning our streets. We had our first street cleanup in April of this year, and we will be hosting a second cleanup at the pond on August the 9th, starting at 10 a.m. So if you're interested in partnering and coming out to the cleanup, feel free to come on through on August the 9th at the pond. Third, we have our lobbying Largo. We will attend a series of events, much like today, in and around Largo with a focus on stormwater education, urban gardening, and everyday sustainability. In fact, again, this great event is a part of our journey in educating our community about stormwater. So if you're interested in learning more about urban gardening and stormwater and how they both relate, feel free to stop by our booth. Fourth, we have our Largo Park walking tour that I just mentioned here briefly. These are educational tours that deepen our understanding of stormwater and also promote walkability. Last but not least, here we have the Downtown Largo Festival. This activation builds toward our capstone experience, which is designed to celebrate local culture, elevate community pride, and stewardship. We had our first placemaking Downtown Largo Festival right at the home of the future Civic Plaza, and again, working in partnership with our county agencies, businesses, and residents. This year, our festival is at the Power Line property, and we're strategically having our festival there because if they won't show up, we'll show up for them and activate the space for them. So we invite you to come on out and participate in that festival. Next slide. Okay, awesome. The festival will be organized into 5 themed zones that align with our mission of sustainability, pride, and community connection. And here's how those activations support our goal. First, we have our resource hub. These interactive spaces spotlight live collaboration between county agencies and local groups featuring real-world placemaking, stormwater education, and sustainability solutions. Second, our art, entertainment, and gaming zones. Consider this like a cultural playground, if you will, with live performances, eco-themed art, and interactive games, all designed to engage with families while inspiring pride and environmental responsibility. Our third zone is our DIY demonstration and micro workshops. These are practical hands-on learning from building container gardens to making herbal tinctures. These workshops will hopefully empower you guys with money-saving sustainability and skills. Fourth, we're going to have a demonstration urban garden. This will be a garden in the middle of the festival, showcasing small space gardening with native plants and harvested rainwater. Guided by shout outs to all the master gardeners in Prince George's County. And last but not least, we have our small business marketplace. This is our anchor activation. This will be a curated vendor experience featuring high quality, eco-conscious products and services that support local entrepreneurship and sustainability. Together, these 5 zones will be transforming the festival into a model of what a connected, informed, and resilient Largo should and can look like. Next slide, please. So I invite you guys to just stay connected to us. We are boots on the ground. We are grassroots effort trying to make this work for our community. Again, we are an HOA. So we are looking for partners. We are looking for funders. If you got money, go see me at the back of the room. And also volunteers. If you would like to be a part of this movement, you can volunteer in 5 of those different categories. I got Walla behind me telling me to wrap it up. So thank you so much for your time. Feel free to stop in and see me in the back of the room. Peace and blessings.
And just know this is how we move our community forward. We need to activate. Let's not just sit back and watch, but get activated, join all of the activities going on in Largo, and that way that will get the word out about our community. Next, we're going into some of the projects that are pending or completed right now, and the first one is absolutely beautiful, bringing beautiful development to Prince George's County, and I want to bring Sam Newberger up with Klein Enterprises to talk about Opal. Opal opened up. It is so beautiful. Look, I said this looks like quality living, and that's the word that we want people to see when they look at Largo, is that we've got upscale living here, because that is what we have in Prince George's County, especially in downtown Largo.
Well, there's a lot of people in here. I'm not Sam Newberger, who's feeling under the weather. My name is Nathan. I'll be filling in for him. And I told my girlfriend I was going to talk about Opal. She goes, that's the one you always get so excited about. She goes, why? Why do you get so excited about it? And, I thought for a few minutes. Then it hit me. We, not just the development team, but also the community, have spent so much time and effort into building this project. This project was $125 million. It's a big investment. So it took over 3 years to build. And I'm a little emotional because this was the first project that I really got to work on, and it's so cool that it's finally complete and leasing up. So next slide. So just to give you guys a little background and some high-level statistics on the project, it's 379 units. There's 65 studios. There's 115 one-bedrooms, 113 one-bedrooms, and 201 two-bedroom apartments. The amenities, out of this world: pool, barbecue area, pet spa, right next to the Largo Station Metro. And then when you walk in the unit, it looks luxurious. It's a beautiful unit. The apartments range in rent from $1,800 a month to $2,900 a month, and they range in size from 500 square feet for the studios to 1,250 square feet for the 2 beds. I'll show you guys some pictures now. We can go to the next slide. Here's some of the common space, the amenity space. So a lot of apartment buildings, when you walk in, you kind of just have your apartment. This, we wanted to foster the community spaces. So there's game room, hangout room, study areas, work areas, beautiful pool right in the middle. And we were actually there the other day for the Opal grand opening party, and there's people swimming in the pool. And that was so cool to see it go from a site plan or rendering a picture to an actual community of people swimming in it. Next slide. And here's an interior model unit. This is a 1-bedroom unit. Again, high ceilings, top of the end appliances, really good finishes, plenty of closet space, everything and anything anybody could want who's looking for an apartment. The last thing I want to say is, I know a lot of the times people see an apartment building and it's just another apartment building in the community. We don't want that to be the case here. As I said, it's a big investment. We want it to support local businesses. We want it to support the value of other properties in the neighborhood. And most importantly, we just want it to be a place people could call home. So thank you guys. Any questions?
Thank you so much. Opal is so beautiful. So we do encourage you all to share, put the word out about it. And it is upscale living, and that is the visual we want people to have when they think of Largo. So thank you so much for your presentation. So we have one more presentation where I will be in the room, but I do want to explain the rules. After that, I will leave. I will come back because these are pending applications, and we're pending applications as a council member, because it can be appealed to me to make decisions on, I cannot be in the room when they are discussed for ex parte communications. But I just told my staff, my chief of staff, Ayana will take over from here. And she's new, actually. I have a new chief of staff. Can you stand up? Everybody can see you. Been doing an amazing job. She's been in my office for a year as a deputy, and now that my chief of staff has moved up, and now he's working for the county executive. My former chief of staff, we have Ayana here, so she is going to take over to make sure we get through everything. I do want to bring Gwen McCall up. There is a This is one of the you heard the residential. Now we're looking at more commercial, and she has an office building that they will be building right not too far away from Jasper's. So let's she can come up and she's going to talk overview about it. We're still looking at who will be in there and what that's going to look like. We do need to find something. We have some really nice ideas of what's going to be there, but we need to finalize it, and we are in that process of looking at something that's going to benefit our community overall. So turning it over to Gwen. And the cool thing about Gwen is she is one of our neighbors. So thank you.
All right. Thank you, Councilwoman Blagay, County Executive Brayboy, Chairman Barnes, and Planning Director Hull. Again, my name is Gwen McCall, and I want to talk to you all about 9620 Larchford Road. It is a medical office building that we're planning to build right here in downtown Largo. Next slide. A little bit about the project. It's 3.6 acre parcel, 9620 Larchford Road, Largo, Maryland. It is zoned RTOH, regional transit oriented, high intensity. That's actually high density mixed use development, primarily for office, retail, and residential. The location is adjacent to Jasper's in Largo, the county administration building. When you pull into the parking lot of Jasper's, to the left of you, there's some land right there that's between Jasper's and the county administration building. That is where this property is going to be. It's a strategic location within Largo Town Center Transit District, and it's actually the last premier developable piece of land that's in the transit-oriented district. Next slide. Zoning entitlements. High-density mixed-use development is permitted. The preliminary plan has already been approved for a 5-story, 100,000 square foot medical office building, or Class A commercial office building. The final plat on this building was recorded and approved in March 26, 2025. Next slide. The conceptual design, again, 5-story building, 19,520 square feet per floor. It's a modern medical office layout. It includes flexible clinical and admin and wellness space. It's also available to be a high-end commercial office building as well. Next slide. Some of the site advantages. It's a prime location near government offices. It's right next door to the county administration building. It's high visibility along Larchford Road. It's close proximity to the Beltway 495, 2.5 minutes. Give you a little bit of why I think it's such a great project. A little bit about Prince George's County. Again, it's 2.5 minutes from the Beltway. 495 runs through, excuse me. 495 runs through it, north and south. If you're manufacturing or if you're logistics, transmodal, that's a great opportunity because you got 495 running north and south. It is a short distance to the Port of Baltimore for importing and exporting. It's near 2 international airports. Prince George's County, 500,000 square miles of the most affordable land in the region, the most undeveloped land in the region. 15 underdeveloped metro stations provide a great opportunity. World-class parks and recs. We have the best, basically, human capital staff. Workforce is ready to go. It's next to the District of Columbia. In the words of the late great Wayne Curry, next to Rome, the only place within the area that can print money. Great nightlife. It's right on the banks of the Potomac. It's ideal. And for those of you who've ever tried to do development, people have complained that it's a challenge with respect to trying to do development in the county. Through Park and Planning. They're moving forward with a new regulatory process to make it a lot easier so that you can go in as a one-stop shop. They'll have somebody that'll go through the complex zoning plans and regs with you to help you so that you're able to get through the process a lot faster. And it's fully automated, so it's transparent, so you can be aware of actually what's happening at every stage of your project. Next slide. This community impact is going to create jobs and it's going to boost the local economy. It's going to improve healthcare access in our community. It's going to support county transit-oriented development goals. Next slide. Call to action, seeking healthcare groups and investors. And actually, we're already working with a group of investors. This is what the council member talked about. And looking at what's happening with Caroline right now, they're a little bit nervous about moving forward. So we're exploring some additional options for this space. But right now, again, it's a Class A commercial office building, and it provides great access for those that are looking to invest or do business in the county. And here, next slide. This is to kind of give you an idea of what the building is going to look like. This design was done by Latiro Thomas. This is an architectural rendering of the building that's going to go on that site. In the back of the building, there's a wooded area, stormwater management area, and what we're planning to do, that's the area between the building, Jasper's, and the county administration building. We're looking to do a bridge, a walk across, to create a sense of place in downtown Prince George's, so that people that are leaving that building, the county administration building, can walk across this bridge with the tree canopies. It's going to have enough space for two-way access going back and forth with seating and lighting, and we think that's going to be very nice. So this is the concept plan for 9620, and I thank you for your time. Any questions, anybody?
Thank you very much, Gwen. We can take 2 questions if anyone has any questions on this development. No? Oh, okay. Right here.
If you could educate me, please. So over there at where the hospital is, I know there are a ton of vacant medical buildings or offices. And so why is there another medical building being built? Well, and just because I don't know the differences between them. I don't know if it's a part of the University of Maryland campus or not, or what.
This actual building, the design was in place long before they built those 2 buildings. We've been working on that for many years. And that is the reason why I said right now the investors that are working with us are basically taking a look at what's happening with Caroline. They're having some challenges staffing up. So they're thinking now about some additional options or uses for that space. But this was in the works long before those 2 buildings.
So it's still being advertised as medical?
Yes. It can be medical or it can be Class A commercial office space, either or.
So do you have renderings of it being the other type of like office space?
What it is right now is it's a building. This is a rendering, but actually anything can go within that building. It doesn't necessarily have to be medical. Any other questions? Yes, ma'am.
Wait, one moment. Let her bring the mic to you.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You mentioned there was a company that had problems staffing up. Did you say Caroline, or who was it?
Caroline, that's the medical office building that's right in front of the hospital. That's what the council member was talking to you all about earlier. That is the one that was owned by RPAI. And at this point, they're uncertain as to what they're going to do with one of those buildings there. So the investors that we're working with, like I said, they're taking a look at it. They're taking a look at that. And because there have been some challenges with respect to that, they want to explore additional options with respect to what this building could actually, what this space could actually be.
Can you say what the architectural firm and who the architectural firm is again?
For this building?
Yes.
Latiro Thomas.
Is Caroline the old boulevard?
Yeah, Capitol Boulevard, yes.
Yes, Caroline is the old Cap Boulevard section. But that is all the questions that we're taking for this development. We do need to move on to the next. I apologize, we have a really tight schedule, but some of the developers will be in the room afterwards if you want to try and catch them and talk to us. And you can always call into our office, and we will post everyone's presentations and send them out with our next newsletter as well. And we have a live stream, so you can always go back on our YouTube channel and watch it.
So thank you very much, Glenn. That was great. It was great information. We are going to move on to our next presenter, which will be Charles Frazier from Gateway, and he's going to speak to us about the Largo Station development.
Good evening. Thank you for the opportunity to be here. I am Charles Frazier, Managing Principal with Gateway. I am very pleased and honored that Councilwoman Bebe has pulled all of you out here and that you have engaged. I want to thank you all again for the input you have given to the county, because that input were a lot of the guiding documents that brought us to make an investment here and put a wonderful project together. This is downtown Largo, parcel O. Right now we are naming that Largo Station. We do not need to do the introductions on me, but you will see myself and team on the website. We have a superstar design build team. We've done about 30 or 40 projects together in the past, many of those award winning. So we took that theme and award winning approach to what we are creating here. Those are some of the awards of one of the projects we built in Washington, D.C., next door to Howard University. The location of this project is directly across the street from the metro station. You can see on the map there. It encompasses 3.6 acres and will be 269 units. As I mentioned before, we took the sector plan, we worked with our architects, as well as a significant planning process to incorporate the things that you have said into the project. And so I echo the sentiment of your input. As we're long-term investors in the community, we may seek to do additional investments as we attract more capital to invest alongside your public investments that have been made here. This is the site plan. The garage is, the building wraps around the garage. That's the only point to make here. So the building wraps around the garage. And then that will be a view from the metro. This is an elevation which may be hard to see from there, but I will point out that we even made an effort to create rooftop balconies. So there are units that then have a rooftop, a gathering place, a public area that people will be able to utilize in the common area and sit up top. So you'll see a few. Those are what we call the mezzanine units. And again, speaking to a lot of the input that we received, which was develop quality, that was echoed through each council member, and that's something that we listened to do, because in developing that quality, that's going to bring 269 high incomes to the area, which should be in excess of $30 million per year. That is what, as people look to invest and live, work, and play communities, that's how they underwrite their investment in terms of the number of rooftops. So getting that synergy and scale into downtown Largo. There's another example of the elevation from Harry Truman Drive. And that's a view of the rooftop amenity units that I wanted to share with you. Those are 12 units that are 2 stories. We did have to pay a premium for that, but it was important to be able to underwrite that. And the Opal is a great example across the street of people that want to be here in a high quality environment. I want to thank you for your time. any questions that you have, and just a little bit more background on the project. The project is $104 million. We purchased the land already. We've gone through the process. There's $11.5 million invested to date. We will start construction with Clark Builders Group sometime in early 2026. Questions?
Thank you. Okay, that's great. Stay with me. Thank you so much. I don't know about you guys, but I'm getting a little excited about some of these renderings and seeing some high quality development come to the area. I mean, you're talking about rooftop patios and decks and two-story apartments, you know, just like downtown TC. So it sounds good to me. I'm glad to see it come to the area. So we are going to take 2 questions for this too. I'm trying to, you know, keep this moving, keep you guys into consideration because I know we're running late. So trying to get us caught back up. So do we have any questions for Mr. Frazier? Right here.
Are you wedded to Clark?
They're going to bring you the microphone.
I'm sufficiently loud.
Well, this is for the live stream, so the people on the live stream can hear as well.
Are you wedded to Clark, or are you open to some of the very large black contractors that have multi-billion-dollar partners from around the world?
They are one of our investment partners and an investor in the project at this point, but as we have additional projects, absolutely. So I do want to meet after, if we can make sure we connect.
Any other questions? Okay.
Thank you.
Great. Thank you so much. Okay, next up, we have Tom Haller on behalf of Larry Lieber from Upshire Realty, and he'll be speaking on the Largo Central West parcels B and C.
And I actually have Mr. Lieber right here with me as well. We can also answer questions. I want to thank you so much for the opportunity to be here tonight. I'm really excited. My office is right here in Largo. We've been here in Largo for several years, and I'm really excited to see a lot of the change that is not only coming under construction with the Civic Plaza, but also the new projects that are being proposed. I also want to thank Councilwoman Blagay, County Executive, Planning Director, as well as the Chairman of the Planning Board for the opportunity to be here tonight. The property that we are here to talk about is called Largo Central West parcels B and C. It's 2 separate parcels of land. The total area of the 2 parcels is about 16 acres. But only about half of that is developable, and I'll show you that in a minute. This property is owned by Avanti Property Group. Mr. Lieber is a representative of the ownership group. They are a long-term real estate investor. They've been around for 50 years. They entitled this project several years ago and have been looking for the right builder to come in and build the quality that they have designed into the project. And so they're still working on that. We are currently in the process of updating the architecture to provide more modern architecture and to deliver the level of quality that the county has come to expect for Largo. If I can go to the next slide. So the property is located actually directly across Largo Drive West from Charles Frazier's project, the one he just talked to you about. It is between Largo Drive West and the Beltway. If you are familiar with Largo Drive West, you know that it is one way going out towards Central Avenue. Harry Truman Drive is one way coming in. So as you come out from the metro station, you would take a right at Largo Drive West, and you would drive in front of this property. Next slide, please. The property, as I mentioned, does have areas that we cannot develop. Unfortunately, that is the wooded area abutting the Beltway, which provides a buffer both visually and for noise for the project. You can see the cleared areas right along Largo Drive West, and those are the areas of the property that are proposed for development. Next slide. So here is a simple rendering of the project layout, and what you see is 2 separate buildings. So as I said, there's 2 parcels of land, and the property is being designed with 2 separate buildings, which allows them to phase the development. The building on the right side or the east side is the larger building and would have 345 units. The property on the other side of the driveway coming in is 187 units. There's a total of 532 units between the 2 buildings. And the idea is to create a central driveway that comes in to access the property, And it's also going to be mixed use. There's going to be about 5,500 square feet of retail space there, because there is a concentration of residential developments that are either there or on the way, Opal being one, Mr. Frazier's property being another, these, and the Mosaic property. So the idea is to take advantage of that concentration of residential uses in that area. If you go to the next slide, this is just some of the property details. As I mentioned, about 16 acres total between the two parcels. 8 acres of it's developable. The other 8 is backs up to the Beltway. And then you can see the breakdown of the units. There are no studios proposed in this building. The rest are 1 bedrooms, 2 bedrooms, and then a handful of 3 bedrooms as well. You go to the next slide. So this is the basic building layout. This is the first floor layout that basically you would see from Largo Drive West. Both of the buildings have a parking garage. The blue areas are amenity spaces. The pink areas are the retail spaces to create a driveway as you come in with ground floor retail. The amenity spaces, which would be the gym and the community areas, all look out on Largo Drive West to help to activate the street. And then there will be 2 courtyards that will service the building as well. Before I get to the courtyard details, if you go to the next couple of slides, you can go through these pretty quickly. Here are some renderings of the proposed building, and both from Largo Drive West going either way. Well, you can't go either way, but depending on where you're sitting, and then the driveway as you walk into as you drive into between the 2 buildings. That would be the entrance going in between the 2 buildings. Okay, so here's the first courtyard. This is on the building on the west side, and the courtyard buildings are designed to provide a high level of amenities for the residents. One of the courtyards will be a passive, more of a quiet courtyard, and that's the one you see here on this rendering. It's going to have artificial turf on it, outdoor furniture, sofas, bistro tables and chairs, outdoor kitchen, a trellis, cabana, centenary lights, the ones that go across the top to activate the space. There'll be hammocks. There's even a movie wall in there for the residents to watch movies at night. That's the passive recreation area. If we go to the next slide, this is the active recreation area. That has a huge pool with pool lounge chairs, another outdoor kitchen, another trellis, a cabana, and then there's also counters and stools for people to sit and eat after they've made gourmet meals. And there's also ping pong tables, cornhole, and Adirondack chairs and other seating areas within the active courtyard. So the idea is to give the residents opportunities to be either in an area where there's more activity and more noise, or being one that's quiet and have an opportunity to just recreate and spend time with each other. Next slide. And then real quickly, here's just a quick budget that they've pulled together for those courtyards, between the 2 courtyards. And then outside, because we do have a trail that runs through the property, that we're going to build a trail that will connect around the building and in the back, because we have a beautiful wooded area in the back. About $555,000 of recreational amenities just in those courtyards and the trails. So we're really excited about this project. We're looking forward to the opportunity to move forward with it, and we're happy to answer any questions that you have.
Thank you, Tom. That was great. All right, we're gonna take 2 questions for this as well. I'm determined to catch up for you guys. We have one in the back, and it looks like we got something for everybody. 2 spaces. If you want to just chill out and relax with your friends, or if you want to have tons of fun, we're getting all kind of stuff coming to the neighborhood.
My question is, and it may be for the delegate, what are the plans for the highway for us that live here now? There's a huge increase that's going to happen. Has there been any planning for transportation, improving our highways? And secondly, and it may have been on there, but Metro Station right now it's not a very large parking area, and that's going to increase a lot of people coming and parking. Has there been any plans for that? I'm just looking at the buildings.
So transportation-wise, there are transportation studies that have to be done when the developments are done, and those studies take into account the top streets and the freeways of is there enough to support the current capacity of this development coming, whatever. So these will have to, if they have not already been approved at that stage, they will go through that stage for approval. As it stands for currently, the freeways are supporting the development. Any new larger development may be, there's been talk of an increase of ramp for Arena Drive, that area, but it just depends on what's coming. And as far as the Metro Garage, the Metro Garage is pretty large. It has 2 garages, so I don't think they're usually full. And all of these new developments, once again, within qualifying for the traffic study, there are also studies about how much parking. There's a minimum requirement of how much parking they have to provide. So all of these developments will have their own parking. As Mr. Howard said, that this development has 2 parking garage areas, one for each building. If you can speak more to that.
Exactly. We provide parking in each building. Thank you. Yeah, and the good thing is we're within a half mile of the station, so it's an easy walk to the metro as well.
Any other questions? One more question. All right, great. Thank you so much. All right, we are going to move on to my next developer, and that is Heather. And Heather, I'm not going to say her last name because I don't want to butcher it. And we're going to talk, she's going to talk about the property at 9611 Lotsford.
Thank you so much, Ms. Crawford. And my last name is Delapolsky. It's way too many consonants for anyone to have to pronounce. So good evening. Thank you so much for having us. We really appreciate the opportunity to be here. My name is Heather Delapolsky. I'm a land use and zoning attorney with the firm Wire Gill LLP. I have with me Gary Wrench, and in the back we have Sean and Ian Cohen. They are with Knollwood Development Corporation, who have been the developers of the entire Largo Park subdivision for decades now in this community. They are also the owners of the subject property under the entity Lot 5B LLC. I've been working on this project for about a year now, and along with the prior applicant in the project, who was Vista Residential Partners, we met with community representatives several times going back to last summer and fall, and I know several of them are in the room this evening. And so I wanted to just say that the only change that's been made to the project since our meetings last summer and fall are that the applicant, Vista Residential Partners, they pulled out of the project. It just didn't fit their business model at the time. But no physical changes have been made to the project from the meetings that we had. So I just want to be very clear on that, and we'll go over the images in just a moment. When Vista pulled out, the consultant team, which included myself, our architects, our engineers, our traffic consultants, we felt that frankly the applications in the project were in a really good and positive place with the community and in terms of the processes that we had gone through. So the owners, Knollwood Development Corporation, decided to step into Vista's shoes as the applicant and proceed with processing applications for development of the property. So I'm going to turn it to Gary with the property ownership for a few remarks, and then we'll go through our slides so that you can see the project images.
Thank you, Heather. So Heather wanted us to just introduce ourselves. We're your neighbors. We've been in the community for over 40 years. Our headquarters is in Largo Park. We did the original subdivision work in Largo Park. We built 6 buildings in there. We have the bullets up on the screen. I don't need to go through all of them, but we built, own, and manage almost 430,000 square feet of office space in Largo Park. 360 local Prince George's County businesses are our tenants. So we're vested in the Largo area, and we really think that the project that Heather and the consultant team for Vista created is going to be a great high quality multifamily project in the area. So
thank you very much, Gary. So just going back to Vista for a moment, just to go through a little bit of the history here. Once under contract, Vista began planning and discussing the proposal in community meetings for both apartments and townhomes here. But with regard to the proposed townhouse component, there was significant opposition from the community members that we're meeting with regarding including townhouses. And so around this time last year, around last summer, Vista made the decision to remove the townhouses and proceed with multifamily apartments only, and that is still the direction that we are proceeding in. We then re-engaged with the community over the course of several meetings last summer and fall, as I referenced, and we generally received positive feedback regarding the revised proposal that removed the townhomes. We did hear from community members regarding the design of the corners of the building and their thoughts, and we'll show the images in a moment, and their thoughts that the corner at Landover and Lotsford could be improved and strengthened. They really wanted a strong presence there, and so we redesigned that per community comments. And again, those were changes that were made last fall and have carried through. So last fall, we resubmitted the preliminary plan of subdivision and detailed site plan and associated applications to MNC PPC to restart the review process. We're still in the review process at this time. We have a tentative planning board hearing date of September 4th, but we're still under review, and that date could change. Certainly, if any of you are signed up as parties of record or to receive mail notices, you'll receive notice of the hearing date when it is finally scheduled. So if you could please go to the next slide. I'm going to go through just a few slides to show you the design of the project, and then we're happy to answer any questions you may have. So this first slide, you can see that we're right at the corner of Landover and Lotsford Road. The building's pulled up right to the corner there, and as I mentioned, we did redesign that corner a bit to create a stronger presence for feedback that we had from the community. The southern and eastern sides of the property, it's almost a third of the site when all is said and done. They are comprised of reported floodplain easement for stream and wetlands. Obviously, we can't develop there. That's protected environmental area that needs to be protected. Access to the property will be from a private driveway. You can see that on the bottom side of the image there. The stub for that is actually existing today on the eastern side of Lotsford Road, directly across from the restaurant park there. There will be a large open space on the eastern side of the site, and then there will also be a central courtyard in the building where resident amenities will be provided. And please go to the next slide. Thank you. So this is the view at the corner of Lotsford Road and the private driveway, as I mentioned. The leasing center will be located here and should help to activate the frontage. Please go to the next slide. This is the view at the corner of Landover and Lotsford. As I mentioned, the community had comments and suggestions regarding this corner and making it stronger, which we took into account, and the revised applications with MNC PPC reflect that. If you could please go to the next slide. This is the conceptual greenery for the site. You can see the very large green areas to the bottom and right-hand side of the page. As I mentioned, those are protected environmental areas. And then we do have the open space area just to the east of the building, as well as significant landscaping along the road frontages. And if you please go to the next slide. This is a zoom in. It might be a little bit hard to see, but it is of the courtyard in the central part of the project. This will have amenities for the residents, including a pool, grilling area, dining areas, and other spaces for them to relax and recreate. And if you could please go to the last slide. These are just precedent images that our designers used for inspiration of the courtyard. We wanted to include them just to give you a sense of what the applicant is trying to achieve with the amenity features in the project. And that is our last slide. We are very happy to be here, happy to answer any questions. And I always tell folks, I'm always happy to answer questions. We try to be very transparent. And if you ever reach out with any questions, I know probably Chuck in the audience and others know that we're easily reachable if you have any questions from us. So certainly, if anybody has any questions and you don't catch us tonight, email, call. Always happy to talk and let you know where things are and answer any questions you may have. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Heather. Again, love the images. Okay, so we will take 2 more questions for this developer. Does anyone have any questions? Yes, right here. It's looking swanky.
Of the buildings that we've seen or the developments, how many are we talking about in terms of ownership? Are these all apartments that are being being developed? Or is it a combination of condos also that people can actually own these properties?
Now, are you asking about the specific development or all of them together?
Well, basically what we've seen tonight, period.
The developments that you've seen tonight are all apartment building developments. So they're rent developments. And mixed use, some are mixed use, they will have retail in the bottom.
I live at the corner of 202 and Largo Road, no more Landover Road, okay?
Yes.
Will I be able to get home?
Yes, you will. That's where this development is. Can you get here as well, please? That is where this development is, but the entrance to this development is going to be off Lots Park. You know what? I'm sorry, Heather. Why don't you can actually fill this question. I'm taking over for you. You can fill that question.
Yeah, if you could go back to our second slide. Just traffic. Yeah. Yeah. So similar to, I think, a question for a prior project. So one of the applications under review for us right now is a preliminary plan of subdivision, and that includes traffic and transportation analysis. It also includes actually bicycle and pedestrian analysis as well. The county has standards that need to be met to find adequacy for all of those transportation aspects. They cannot approve a preliminary plan of subdivision if adequacy is not found. So our project now does meet the adequacy tests. I certainly understand your concern about what the traffic that I encountered coming here this evening, but under the county's tests, it does pass, and we're subject to the county's tests. So I certainly understand your concern.
Thank you. Sorry. Okay, we're gonna take two because there was a misunderstanding. Yes, ma'am.
I hear all the buildings and everything, but how about high quality restaurants? I don't hear anything. I mean, I hear you saying retail under the buildings that you're building, but how about, are any high end restaurants coming besides these fast foods that we have now?
So I'm assuming that you're speaking about the other developers because you all don't have retail in the bottom of yours. But for the other developers, it is up to the developer, the property management of who they put in those buildings. I don't know if specifically they are trying to recruit restaurants because that is a different type of build out, different regulations, different costs. Particularly with this development, you have the restaurant park right across the street. So I don't think that would necessarily be their role for that. But the development coming up next may have something. And my last question.
What assurances, I've been listening to all the concepts and all the developments, what assurances can you give as it relates to the seniors currently living here or those that perhaps want to move here related to their specific needs? You're talking about a lot of buildings, condos, and whatever, bringing businesses, bringing new residents to the county. What about those seniors? When I came in, the first thing that caught me by surprise, you have a lot of senior citizens here.
Mm-hmm.
What is it are you all going to focus on as it relates to assisting the senior citizens? I personally live in an adult community, so there's nothing for a senior citizen. We would have to move somewhere. So out of all the development, what are they doing to at least help the senior citizens that are here or help those that may want to move here?
Yeah, okay, sure. Great question. Actually, so these particular developments that you have heard about tonight are not senior citizen specific, but there has been quite a few senior buildings built. So the latest was just in Largo, off of Largo Central Drive, that's the name of the street, Largo Central Drive and Harry S. Truman. The Sky Bridge Towers is a very large complex. It's two buildings that is specifically senior for senior citizens, and there's another one right across the street from that that's a senior citizen building. And there were some others over the county in the past few years. And of course, we are always looking out for our seniors and bringing more programs to the county. Parking planning has large efforts and initiatives on offering things for seniors and making sure that they're included in their facilities and their programs and things like that. So our seniors are always at the top of our mind.
Okay, so the developers are also focused on that as they are developing these communities as well.
Yes, I mean, developers are looking to capitalize on the market, and the reality of life right now is that we have a lot of seniors and they are coming to the area and they are downsizing, and developers are very aware of this and they are taking that into consideration in their developments, and they are specifically and actively going for the seniors.
Thank you very much.
Sure. All right, thank you so much, Heather, for that presentation. All right, guys, we are at our last presentation. We're gonna wrap up. We have Omar Kareem here, and he's going to speak about the Pavilion at Watson.
Good evening, everyone. It's great to see everybody. I guess I'm the last person between you and dinner, so we'll go quick. My name is Omar Kareem Jr. here, who's a sophomore at DeMatha, who's interning in our real estate development division. And we also have Jimmy Drummond here, who's a lead architect and owner of Drummond Projects, who's designing one of our buildings. And we have Jonathan Johnson, who's a principal at Torrey Dallas, who's designing one of our other two buildings here. And we also have our landscape architect here with us this evening. And we are super excited to be here this evening to talk about what we're doing at the Pavilion at Lobster. Next slide. A little bit about us. We celebrated 20 years. First of all, I live in the county. My wife, my 4 children. I live in Waterford, just right down the street from this amazing development. We bought these parcels a number of years ago and are about to invest $340 million into our community. And I'm super grateful to the councilwoman, to our county executive, to our new planning board chair, and the rest of the staff for inviting us out to talk about this amazing investment that we're about to make in our county, where we live and where we want to go to restaurants. And we're going to talk about that a little bit in a couple of seconds. Next slide. This is us. Okay. Next, we represent some of the most talented individuals in the development and construction industry. We serve as a general contractor, and just a month ago, we broke ground along with the governor, the comptroller, the acting county executive, the former county executive, and our now county executive, Aisha Braveboy, on a $96.1 million development at the Addison Road Metro Station along the Blue Line corridor. It is the largest investment in Capitol Heights ever. We did that. I did it as the owner of this project. We went there because our community deserves it. We invested in this community because our community deserves it, and we're bringing a mixed-use development right to Capitol Heights. Next slide. Next slide. We have undergone significant community outreach since we started this project. We've had community meetings for the last 3 or 4 years, dozens of meetings with county personnel, parking planning, DPI, fire department, police department. We've had a number of community meetings in Largo. We've supported all type of events in Largo as well. And we've been out here talking about this project. And over the last 6 months, you might have gotten a call from us as well. We've done significant outreach, talking to hundreds and hundreds of residents in Largo about the project. What do you want, right? The size of units, your amenities, the services, the design, safety, security, parking availability, walkability, outdoor green space. This is the type of things that we have done for this project. Next slide. This is the context plan. Over to the top of the context plan is the Wayne K. Curry Administration Building. And then we own all of the green space across the street. And we propose to develop a 3-building mixed-use project that every county executive since Wayne Curry has envisioned. That's finally a downtown Largo, finally high-end retail, finally a mixed-use community that our communities and that our residents want. And so we have along Lotsford, we have retail. Next slide. We have retail, significant amount of retail. We have over 40,000 square feet of retail. We're going to bring restaurants here. We're going to bring coffee shops here. We're going to bring all type of active spaces like golf stores. We're going to. I wish I was 28-year-old. Like our development manager, she would tell us all of the retail amenities that's going into our spaces. But we have a slide in a second to talk about some of the different retail spaces. Our first building is going to be right at the corner of McCormick Drive in Loxford. It is going to set downtown Largo on fire, right? It is going to be absolutely amazing. We're about to invest over $100 million in this project, and we hope to break ground in the next 24 months. Building 2, which is at 9400 Lotsford, as you approach closer to the metro, it'll be another mixed-use building. Significant amount of ground floor retail there with multifamily above it. Building 3 at 1320 is going to be along McCormick Drive. This is going to be a very, very special building. We'll have units that'll be walkable from outside onto McCormick Drive. We'll have units that'll have courtyards along in the middle of it, as well as a multifamily building on top of it. Next slide. These are some of the upper floors, and we'll have a beautiful number 6 there. I want to just point out, really it's going to be the heartbeat of the Largo community. It's where we're going to have outdoor events, where we're going to activate all type of weekend activities, where we're going to do, I think we're going to have some water features out there where kids can play, seniors can go out there. You can go out and grab a cup of coffee. We'll have outdoor seating. If you go back one slide, or we'll have outdoor seating for all of our retail space. We're creating, if anybody ever walk down Loxford and don't have enough space to walk down the street, we're going to add about 10 or 15 feet. I think 20 feet. Yeah, how much? 25 feet of sidewalk there. How many people think that's a good idea? I know I do. It is going to be absolutely beautiful. Walkable, so when you're coming from the Wayne K. Carey building, if you're catching the metro or you're just walking down the street, you don't have to go single line any longer on Loxford. Keep going, 2 slides. This is some public space precedence, so casual outdoor space, a lot of dining zones, shade and green elements. Finally, right after many, many years, and this project has been supported all the way from the governor to Jazz Lewis, to previous administrations who put money, and we're partnering with WMATA. We purchased a couple of the parcels from WMATA as well as from some private individuals. Next slide. This is retail space precedence, so we're going to have outdoor green space. As you can see, we're going to have ice cream shops, all type of residential and retail amenities. Right, I live in the county. I hate taking my wife down to DC, and I love it there, but I like keeping my money in my county. I don't like going to Arundel County. I don't like going to Montgomery County. God bless all of those people, but God bless those who have them failed, right? And we're going to do that. And I don't want my wife asking me again, why don't we have a coffee shop, right? Why don't we have these restaurants? We're going to invest these things in our community, and you all are going to be all along the way. We're neighbors. I live in this community. My family lives in this community. We purchased our home in this community, and I'm super grateful. We hired 3 Black architects to design these farms. Each one of these buildings, we hired a Black landscape architect to design all of the green views that you all are going to see. Next slide. This is some of the retail amenities. We have gone to the market and talked to so many of our residences. Plus, I live here. I know what we want, right? We want full service, upscale, and casual restaurants. I think I heard that last, right? The last person said, we want health and fitness amenities. We want entertainment venues. We want recreational anchors, personal services, novelty restaurants. We're going to deliver all of those things. God bless everybody else who went before us who didn't have any retail, but we know how important retail is for our community, right? Like, we don't want to go to Montgomery County. We don't want to go to the wharf. We tell people this project will be like the wharf without the water, right? Except that we're not going to be charging $55 an hour for parking either, right? Okay, next slide. This is some of the things that this fine gentleman, Jimmy Drummond, came up with, right? He called it the seed, right? And really multi-use urban furniture, right? Playful elements, lighting integrated, and seating. So basically restorative retreats. The next slide. They also called it the root, right? Connective pulses. So we're going to connect all of the common area spaces. We're going to have beautiful, distinct signage. We're going to have interactive, I don't know why he does it like this, right? Iconography or whatever, right? What is that, right? All type of directional signs, because it's going to be 3 buildings. We're going to create private roads here so that we can take vehicles off the streets and put them into the garages. And the next slide here, I think this is our final slide, the bloom, right? Market grounds and urban rooms. This is gathering space. This is very important for us as a community. We gather, right, as a community. We're going to have a lot of gathering spaces in Loxford, We're going to design, integrate it into our storefronts. It's not just going to be an afterthought, but a forethought. We're going to have like amphitheater related steps and large shading structures for the pavilion. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Omar. That was fantastic. I'm excited. Got me all worked up. Okay, do we have any questions for Mr. Kareem on this development? Anybody? Anybody? Okay, right here.
Any condo space?
Let her bring you the mic.
Any condo space?
That's a good question. Right now, we designed a project for all rental. And you all saw all rental on the multi-family. The reason why it's all rental is right now is because the cost to build this stuff is so high, and there's just no opportunity for a return on a for sale. I wish we still might do it because we're developing each building. Each building is going to take 2 years to build and 1 year to lease up. So we are delivering this project over the next 9 years when we start breaking ground. We have building 1, building 2, building 3. There's always going to be opportunity for us to look at either building 2 or building 3 for a retail. For a for sale. The other thing that we're looking to do, we have a lot of 3-bedroom units, right? We don't have a splash of threes. We have about 20 to 25% of our buildings are going to be 3 bedrooms. Why? Because we know how important 3 bedrooms are to our communities. People who are empty nesters want to sell their homes and move to an active, vibrant community. We know that. We ask around, and I'm 51 now, so I don't know if I got my AARP card yet, but it's coming. The second thing is we're looking at maybe making 1 of the 3 buildings all a 55 plus community building as well.
Okay, next question. Or did he answer it? Okay, in the back, right here.
So, hello there, everybody. My question is not for this developer, it's really for the night. These units, these places, everything looks beautiful. I love living in Prince George's County, but what about the people who can't afford it? Are there going to be any affordable units in any of these properties?
So our particular development, I think we're at 80 to 120% AMI in terms of affordability. So we're affordable at about 80 to 120%.
And yes, some of the other developments will have affordable housing. Quite a few of the developments that are taking place in the county do have a segment for affordable housing as well. The gentleman.
Hello, how's everyone doing today? I just got a quick question. How much of this project is actually funded, and how much of it we will see? I know a lot of times the renderings come, the architect's design, but then the funding, stops. So how much of this project is actually going to be, or has been fully funded?
Great question. We have about 96-7% of our money for the project so far. So most of our private money is already secured.
Okay, thank you all. We really appreciate you coming out. We are going to wrap up, but we are going to bring the council member back to say her goodbyes to everyone and give you the last bit of information. Thank you to all of the developers and presenters and county and parking planning that came out, and parking planning for hosting this at our facility as well. And please, before you leave, don't forget to stop by the Prince George's Arts and Humanities Council table, as well as the Love My Largo Initiative table, to give them your feedback about the artwork that you want to see at the Civic Plaza, and to learn more about our initiatives and our festival. Remember, come out to the Downtown Largo Festival September 6th at the Caroline property from 11 to 6 p.m. It is tons of fun, trust me. Okay, Councilmember?
Thank you so much. I hope you all got information you need. How many feel more informed than you were before? All right. Well, we appreciate all of you coming out tonight. spending your time. You could be doing anything else. I just want to give a couple reminders. We did let you know we're having a District 6 Community Day on August 17th. We have the flyers in the front. We do ask you all to come. We want to enjoy it before the summer is over. And I want to make sure you all know that we will send some follow-up information. So make sure you sign up for our listserv. If you did not sign up for this today, please reach out to my staff. And I want my staff to stand up. All the interns, James Lovejoy. We have Howard here. We have Sadia. We have Miss Gloria. Yes, see the beautiful lady in the front that welcomed you. You came in, Miss Gloria there. We had Miss Fafana here. Unique is outside. Choma is outside. So thank you all so much. Thank you to my team for making sure that this was smooth. And thank you to the park and planning team for making sure that we had a great event. Thank you all. Have a good night.
Oh yeah, no. Well, the community needed to hear it because there's always these plans, and most people don't know what's happened until it's already too late and it's already happened, and then they're like, I don't like this.
You have such precedent, and a lot of the projects, particularly with the public art and the creative placemaking and the Central Library Cultural Center, I want to have constant charrettes. So we're going to have space on our webpage. But whenever you think it's time, if we can, because I can imagine you're going to keep doing these types of events.
Well, we have Westphalia Retail Meeting July 30th.
Okay. But I appreciate you so much. I just
Thank
got
you.
off a plane. I'm like,
Oh,